Hello, welcome. Another golden race from the great era of middle distance running, the 70s and the 80s. And today we've got Sebastian Coe running in Zurich, the third of his world records in 41 days, historic triple set of world records. Nobody's ever done that before. The 800, the 1500 and the mile in 41 days. So let's just go over what's happened in 1979, just very briefly. Coe stunned the world, breaking the 800 meter world record, running 142.4 in Oslo. And then he broke the world mile record again in Oslo, running 3:48.95. So he's got two world records under his belt. People realize that he's not a one-trick pony. He's not just an 800 meter specialist, but as with Peter Snell and other great milers, Steve Ovett, he's able to double up and be a great miler as well. So let's have a look then. This race, bear in mind the expectations that were on Coe for this race. I remember watching this live on the BBC, and I mean the expectation was that it was almost like a foregone conclusion. Coe's going to break the world record. It's just a matter of by how much. So there was so much confidence on him actually breaking the world record. Let's start with it.
This attempt on the world 1500 meter record.
So
with Coe, the star attraction. The lineup, Foley, the Australian champion.
David Coleman commentating there. Coleman has just said that people have been paying £10 to get into the Zurich stadium as a low price. £15 was the top price. Just to put it into context, I think £10 in those days is like, how much would it be now? Probably £40 now. So, you know, fair amount of money. But anyway, off they go. So I apologize for the picture quality. It's the best I could find. It's not very good, but you know, we'll have to live with it. So obviously Coe has got a world record on his mind. I'm not too sure who the organizer for this meet was, but I'm sure that, you know, obviously they've got a pacemaker there who has really taken it out fast. You can see by the way he's strung the field out. Koskai, Sami Koskai, who I believe is an 800 meter runner, and I mean he's almost run this first lap like it's an 800 meters, and you can see the way they've strung the field out there, how fast they're going, and they're through in about 54. Coe's gone through in about 54.5 there, which, let's face it, is a good second, at least a second too fast. 56 is the golden time really to set a world record in the mile or 1500. So he's way too fast there. Having said that, he's in absolutely superlative form. Now, he looked easy in his mile record, and as I discussed in the previous video, he had the luxury of a 58-second first lap, and then, you know, it was like a fairly even race, and he looked easy at the end. This race is anything but. The difference it makes when the pace is not even. So he's got a 5 meter lead on the next man, who I think is that Mike Boyd. It looks like Mike Boyd. He's got a few meters on him there, and at 800 meters, so he's gone through in 153. That means that the second lap's been about 58.5. You can see how uneven it is. 54.5, then 58, 59. It's not ideal, but he's still on course. At 153 is a good time to get around sort of 3:32-ish. And I remember watching this and looking at the gap, and I was thinking, when I watched this in 79, he's going to run inside 3:30. I thought the gap is absolutely massive. He's going to obliterate the world record and put it out of reach for years to come. He got such a beautiful running action, Coe has. He's just glides, he just floats around the track, makes it almost look like he's you know, on a Sunday stroll. But the reality is that, you know, hardly anybody would be able to keep up with him, even just sprinting. Now, I understand that this last lap was really grueling for him. He had to run around, I think, 56 seconds. So he went through in about 2:36 off an uneven pace, and it was too uneven, effectively. Look how far ahead he is. He's absolutely blazing it, and he really does push all the way to the line here. He doesn't give up. I mean, he really drives through the line. Well, I mean, David Coleman says Coe has smashed the world record. I mean, look, you can see he's tired. I mean, look at that. We saw Ovett run 3:32. I did a video yesterday of his Oslo run when he matched Coe's world record. And I mean, when Ovett went through the line, he was standing smiling and looking relaxed. It looked like it had been an easy run, simply because he'd been given a nice, easy, you know, he'd been given a good, steady pace, and he breezed it. You know, he made that world record look easy. And the difference with Coe is that Sami Koskai took it out way too fast. You know, he was running at around 54 for the first lap, which is similar to what Filbert Bailly did in 1972 when he ran 3:32. Coe had no idea he was going to have to run a grueling race like Bailly did. He was going to have to do the same thing. He would have been hoping for an even race like the one he had in Oslo, and he went through looking like he could have run much faster, looking nice and easy because he had an even pace. And unfortunately in this race he didn't get that, and I really believe that had he been given a good pace in this race, you know, he could have been the first man inside 3:30. When you look back at it, at the time I was jumping up and down thinking, oh great, you know, Coe's set another world record. Wow, you know, three world records in 41 days. Nobody really thought at the time the opportunity that had been missed to really get that world record under 3:30, which I think he would have done if he'd got the right pace on the first two laps. And he's looking tired. He's got his hands on his hips. His shoulders are hunched over. He is tired. It's been grueling. And he only managed to set the world record off that suicidal pace because he's in absolutely superlative form, as he was in 1979. He could run a suicidal pace and still set a world record. It just shows what form he was in. So everybody else was out of sight. I mean, they were all running sort of 3:35, 3:36, way behind. So that's it. That's the third of 3 world records in 41 days. The legend, I suppose, that Coe became after that. And I know that in 1985, Cram also set 3 world records in fewer days, but he did 1,500 mile and I think 2,000 meters. He didn't do the magic 800 mile. He didn't do a clean sweep of the 3 classic distances, which is what Coe has done, and which nobody else in history has done. So, you know, when people say to me that I only rate Coe, Ovett and Cram because I'm British and because they're British too, no. I mean, that's... I can see how you might be saying that, but when you look at the objective facts about what Coe did, for example, and what Cram did and what Ovett did, the number of times they set world records, I mean, objectively speaking, I still think that they're the 3 best middle distance runners of all time. So you can disagree with that and say that it's only because I'm British that I'm saying that, but no, it's not. I've got some statistics and objective facts to back up my opinion. That's all for now. I'll be back again with another race soon. Thanks for watching, and thank you for your subscriptions as well. See you soon. Bye.